You may have noticed that as we grow older, sleep no longer comes as easily as it once did. Many people can go to bed quite early, yet it takes a long time to fall asleep, or even after falling asleep. They wake up easily in the middle of the night and struggle to return to deep sleep. This is not necessarily because the body is becoming weaker, but largely because the nervous system is no longer able to let go as easily as before. As age increases, the mind tends to become more sensitive to thoughts, mild worries, or small changes in the body, and these very factors can disrupt sleep. Therefore, we do not always need strong solutions to improve sleep. In fact, at this stage, the body often responds better to gentle, natural methods that help bring it back into balance. And sometimes, those solutions are not found in medication, but come from familiar herbs that are easy to grow right in your own garden. Before we get into the topic, please tap to give me a like and a subscribe so I can get started. 1. Chamomile. Chamomile is one of the most commonly used herbs for supporting sleep, especially suitable for older adults because its effects are very gentle yet stable. Unlike sleeping pills, chamomile does not create an immediate feeling of drowsiness. Instead, it gradually helps the nervous system wind down, allowing the body to enter a state that is ready for sleep. The key compound in chamomile is apigenin, a substance that can interact with receptors in the brain associated with relaxation. As the activity of the nervous system is calmed, lingering thoughts or mild mental tension also begin to ease. This is precisely why this herb is particularly effective for people who have trouble sleeping due to overthinking or an inability to switch off from an alert state in the evening. Beyond its effects on the nervous system, chamomile also helps soothe the body in several other ways, such as reducing mild spasms, supporting digestion, and relieving abdominal discomfort. For people aged 55 and above, small factors like bloating, muscle tension, or a sensation of internal heat can disrupt sleep. So, addressing these underlying causes is very important. In terms of use, one of the gentlest and easiest methods is to enjoy chamomile as a warm tea in the evening. Simply steep a small amount of dried flowers in hot water for a few minutes. Then drink it sometime before bedtime, allowing the body to gradually relax and transition into a more natural state of rest. You also do not need to take it too close to bedtime, as that may sometimes interrupt sleep. Notably, chamomile does not produce instant effects, but works in a cumulative way. When used consistently, it helps stabilize the nervous system, and as a result, sleep gradually becomes deeper and more comfortable over time. One important note is that chamomile is generally a safe herb and suitable for long-term use. However, individuals who are allergic to plants in the daisy family or who are taking sedatives should consider this carefully and consult beforehand to ensure it is appropriate for their condition. 2. Lavender. Lavender is one of the few herbs that can directly influence emotions through its scent. Unlike herbs that need to be consumed, lavender works very effectively simply by diffusing into the surrounding space, helping the nervous system gradually shift from a state of tension to relaxation. The main compound in lavender, particularly linalool, has been studied for its ability to reduce cortisol levels, the hormone associated with stress. As cortisol levels decrease, the body also naturally slows down, making it easier to enter a state of rest. For people aged 55 to 60, one of the common causes of difficulty sleeping is not necessarily physical fatigue, but rather an active mind. It may be light thoughts, vague worries, or simply a feeling of not being fully relaxed. Lavender helps address this by sending a clear signal to the brain that it is time to stop. In addition, lavender can help gently slow the heart rate and support emotional stability, which is especially beneficial for those who are easily stressed or sensitive to their surroundings. When the environment becomes calmer and more pleasant, the body also finds it easier to let go. A very natural way to make use of lavender is to allow its scent to be gently present in your resting space. For example, placing a small sachet near your pillow or simply growing a pot of lavender in an area where you usually relax in the evening. With regular exposure, this scent not only helps you fall asleep more easily, but also creates a positive psychological association with sleep. What makes lavender special is that it does not induce sleep in a strong or forceful way. Instead, it helps the body transition naturally into a resting state. Therefore, its effectiveness typically comes from consistent use rather than short-term application. 3. Yarrow. Yarrow is not a herb that stands out for inducing sleep quickly, but it works deeply on the underlying causes that disrupt sleep, especially in older adults. Its most important property lies in its ability to regulate circulation and soothe low-grade inflammation within the body. As we age, the body often develops subtle discomforts, muscle tightness, lingering aches, cold hands and feet, or poor circulation. These are not strong enough to cause pain, but they are enough to prevent the body from fully letting go when lying down. Yarrow helps improve these underlying conditions, thereby creating a deeper sense of comfort throughout the body. In addition, yarrow supports the nervous system in an indirect way. Instead of acting directly on the brain like some other herbs, it helps the body release the mild tension accumulated during the day. When the body is less tense, the nervous system naturally settles down, allowing sleep to come more easily and naturally. Another noteworthy point is that yarrow has mild anti-inflammatory properties and helps maintain internal balance, which is especially important for people aged 55 and above. In many cases, shallow or disrupted sleep is not caused by obvious stress, but by the body remaining in a state of low-level stimulation, which may stem from digestion, circulation, or subtle inflammation. Yarrow helps calm these internal signals, thereby reducing factors that cause waking during the night. For this reason, yarrow is not ideal for those seeking quick results, but is better suited for individuals who feel their body is not truly comfortable when trying to sleep, or who frequently experience restless sleep without a clear cause. When used consistently, it helps build a stable foundation for sleep, one where the body is no longer quietly disrupted by minor discomforts. A gentle way to incorporate yarrow into your evening routine is to use it as a warm tea, allowing the body to gradually relax after a long day. With regular use, its effects are not immediate but cumulative, becoming evident as sleep grows deeper and more stable over time. 4. Peppermint. Peppermint is not typically considered a herb that directly supports sleep, as it does not induce drowsiness or strongly calm the nervous system like some others. However, its true value lies in this: it helps remove the hidden factors that quietly interfere with sleep, something many people tend to overlook. One of the common reasons people aged 55 and above have difficulty sleeping or experience shallow sleep is that their digestive system does not function optimally in the evening. Feelings of bloating, slow digestion, or mild stomach discomfort may not be strong enough to cause pain, but they can prevent the body from fully relaxing. Peppermint has the ability to relax the smooth muscles in the digestive tract, helping reduce spasms and allowing digestion to proceed more gently. When the abdominal area feels more comfortable, the body can more easily let go and transition into sleep. In addition, peppermint has a cooling effect and helps regulate bodily sensations. In older adults, feelings such as mild internal heat, stuffiness, or slight respiratory discomfort can also affect sleep quality. The menthol in peppermint creates a sense of openness and easier breathing, thereby helping the body shift naturally into a resting state. Another noteworthy benefit is peppermint's ability to relieve mild muscle tension and the sense of tightness in the body. After a long day, many people may not realize that their body is still holding subtle tension, especially in the shoulders, neck, or abdomen. When these areas relax, the signals sent to the nervous system also change, allowing the entire body to more easily enter a state of rest. For this reason, peppermint is not a sleep-inducing herb, but rather one that clears the path for sleep. It is suitable for those who do not struggle much with mental restlessness, but are affected by small physical factors that accumulate throughout the day. A gentle way to incorporate peppermint into your evening routine is to enjoy it as a warm tea after dinner, helping the body gradually feel lighter and more comfortable before rest. With consistent use, its benefits extend beyond sleep, also improving overall bodily comfort. 5. Valerian root. If the previous herbs mainly help the body relax in a gentle way, valerian root works more directly on the mechanisms of sleep. It is one of the few herbs that can clearly influence the central nervous system, especially for those experiencing chronic insomnia or very light sleep. The primary mechanism of valerian root is related to enhancing the activity of GABA, a neurotransmitter that plays a role in slowing down brain activity. When GABA levels are supported, the brain reduces its state of excitation, making it easier to transition into deeper rest. This is why valerian root is often considered a bridge that helps the body move from wakefulness into sleep. For people aged 55 to 60 and above, a common issue is that the brain does not truly enter deep sleep. even when the body feels tired. They may be able to fall asleep, but the sleep is easily disrupted, or they wake up feeling not fully restored. Valerian root specifically helps improve the depth of sleep, rather than just making it easier to fall asleep. In addition, this herb can reduce the amount of time spent tossing and turning before sleep. For those who lie down but take a long time to fall asleep, valerian root helps shorten this transition period by calming the nervous system more quickly. However, a distinctive feature of valerian root is that it does not work instantly from the very first use. Its effects become more noticeable when maintained over a period of time, gradually helping to stabilize the nervous system. As a result, sleep not only comes more quickly, but also becomes deeper and less interrupted. A gentle way to incorporate valerian root into an evening routine is to use it as a tea or in suitable herbal preparations, allowing the body to gradually adapt and relax. Because it has a relatively noticeable effect on the nervous system, it is generally more suitable for those with clear insomnia rather than mild sleep difficulties. The greatest strength of valerian root lies not in immediate comfort, but in its ability to rebuild sleep quality, helping the body truly rest, rather than simply sleep. 6. Rosemary. Rosemary is often known as an herb that enhances alertness and improves memory. Because of this, many people assume it is not suitable for sleep. However, its true value lies in a very different role, helping the brain exit a prolonged state of activity before bedtime. For people aged 55-60, a common issue is not that the body isn't tired, but that the brain is still switched on. After a long day, the mind may continue processing thoughts, replaying past events, or simply be unable to disengage from a state of alertness. This is why many people find it difficult to fall asleep even after lying down for a long time. Rosemary helps address this by reorganizing the brain's activity. Instead of allowing the mind to remain scattered and tense, it helps clarify and release mental congestion. As thoughts become clearer and less tangled, the brain can more easily transition into a resting state. One particularly noteworthy aspect of rosemary is that it does not calm the body in a way that immediately induces sleep. Rather, it helps the brain conclude its state of wakefulness at the right rhythm. This is especially suitable for those who tend to overthink throughout the day and find their mind still active at night. Some people struggle to sleep not because of strong anxiety or stress, but simply because they have not fully disengaged from their state of operation. Rosemary supports precisely this point, helping the mind slow down, reducing prolonged thinking, and allowing the body to gradually shift into a natural state of rest. In addition, rosemary supports blood circulation to the brain and helps relieve sensations of heaviness or mild tension in the forehead, factors that can quietly affect the ability to relax before sleep. A gentle way to incorporate rosemary into your evening routine is to let its aroma be present in your resting space, or to use it as a light tea that helps the body gradually transition its state. When used appropriately, rosemary does not make you sleepy immediately, but helps you become ready for sleep. What makes rosemary unique is this: it is not for sleep itself, but for the moment before sleep, the stage that determines whether you will be able to fall asleep easily or not. 7. Thyme. Thyme is not a herb that makes you feel sleepy immediately, but it works on very important underlying factors that determine whether your sleep is deep or not. Its most notable benefit lies in its ability to stabilize the respiratory system and soothe mild internal irritations. In older adults, sleep can easily be disrupted by seemingly minor factors, such as a dry throat, irregular breathing, slight nasal congestion, or a subtle sensation in the airways. These signals may not be strong enough to be clearly noticed, but they are enough to keep the brain in a constant state of alertness, leading to shallow and easily interrupted sleep. Thyme contains compounds such as thymol, which have antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties and help gently cleanse the respiratory tract. This creates a more quiet internal environment. When the airways are clear and stable, the nervous system reduces its alert signals, allowing sleep to become more continuous and uninterrupted. Beyond its effects on respiration, thyme also supports digestion and helps reduce subtle discomfort in the abdomen, a very common but often overlooked issue in people aged 55 and above. Feelings such as mild bloating, slow digestion, or a lingering internal heat can prevent deep sleep even without causing pain. When these factors are addressed, the body can more fully let go when lying down. Another important aspect is that thyme helps stabilize the body as a whole. It does not act strongly on a single mechanism, but gently soothes multiple systems at once, from respiration and digestion to low-level inflammation. This overall balance is what truly forms the foundation of deep sleep. For this reason, thyme is especially suitable for those who do not have clear insomnia but experience shallow sleep, often wake up in the middle of the night without a clear reason, or feel that their body is not truly comfortable when trying to rest. A gentle way to use thyme is to incorporate it into your evening routine as a warm tea, allowing the body to gradually transition into a relaxed state without creating a heavy feeling. With consistent use, its effects are not immediate but become evident over time as sleep grows stable and less disrupted. And perhaps most importantly, good sleep does not come only from calming the nervous system, but also from removing the very small internal disturbances, the ones that thyme quietly helps to address. At this point, I'm quite curious. Among these 7 herbs, which ones have you used or are you currently using? Share in the comments and let me know. And don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe to motivate me to create more helpful videos for you. You can see that as we grow older, sleep is no longer something that can be improved quickly, but rather becomes the result of many small factors accumulated each day. It is not only about the mind, but also the body. Not only about stress, but also about subtle discomforts that we often overlook. The herbs you've just seen do not work in a strong or immediate way, nor do they force the body to sleep. Instead, they help bring the body back into balance, a state in which sleep can arise naturally. Sometimes, what the body truly needs is not more, but more appropriate, a nervous system that is calm enough, a body that is comfortable enough, and an environment that is quiet enough. When these elements are properly aligned, sleep will come more naturally, become deeper, and remain more stable over time. If you are at this stage of life, perhaps the most important thing is not to try to control sleep, but to create the conditions for it to return in the most natural way possible. If you find this video valuable, a like and a subscribe from you would be a great support for us to continue creating higher quality content. And don't forget to leave a comment to let us know your thoughts.